These birds didn't start chirping until he started singing. Just saying, throw that out there.
There's a reason I don't fix it when we do that song. I'm just saying. Well, how about this? We also did a song at Graceland that I love because it talks about making noise for God. Now, how many of y'all think we ought to stand up for risen Savior? Anybody believe we ought to make noise for God? Amen? I'll tell you what, we travel, we literally go coast to coast. In fact, last year we went from we went from New Market, New Hampshire to Ruidoso, New Mexico in a matter of a couple days. So when we sing coast to coast, we literally mean coast to coast almost, and we just do it because that's where God opens the door.
Sacramento, California to Somerset, Kentucky in 2 days.
That's what happens when the police are chasing you.
That is what happens. Yes. Needless to say, that state trooper from California never did catch up to Yellow Bus before we got there. But we found out it can fly. But when we were at Graceland, we found a song called Graceland. It talks about the grace that God has bestowed upon Christians. How one of these days we're going to live in a place with no more worry and no more strife. Something we ought to be excited about as Christians.
Amen.
And as we've traveled this country, we found out that a lot of people get excited about everything else other than the Word of God. They'll scream for football, they'll scream for NASCAR going in circles, they'll scream for kids playing sports, but they won't make noise for God. And we heard things like this when we were out in California. Had a lady look at me square in the face and said, but y'all have to understand, you need to be politically correct. And I looked at her and I said, first off, don't you cuss at me like that. I don't have to be that. I said, I need to be biblically correct. I need to stand on the Word of God and make noise for God. That's what I'm supposed to do. I'm like, if I'm not willing to stand up for Him, why did He die for me? I need to be able to stand up and tell people about God. And so I said, I'm going to do it until the day He comes back. That's what this country was founded on. That's what we need to get back to, is the Word of God. And here's my thing. It don't matter where you go. What matters is what you do with your life. It don't matter if you do it at your house, at the grocery store, or Walmart, or at the gas station. You need to stand up for God and make noise for Him. Tell people about it. And so we sang this song called Graceland, and in the middle of the song it says, I'm living in Graceland. And every time we did it at the Elvis place, like, woo! They'd yell, scream, come running at the stage. I thought revival was breaking out in Memphis, Tennessee right there, and they need it sometimes, I'm just saying. But I thought, this is great. And what I didn't realize is every time we said I'm living in Graceland, they put a big old picture of Elvis's house behind us on a screen. So they were all screaming for the man's house.
Don't laugh,
not
sister.
God's
We'll
grace.
take applause any way we can get it.
We're not picky. But and so the very next week we went up to Massachusetts and we started challenging people to make noise for God. And we've been doing it now everywhere we go, coast to coast. And usually what happens is we do this. We say, I'm living in Graceland. And we get at least 4 or 5 people that go, ooh. Because they're happy Christians, you know, they know how to make noise for God. And I'm like, that's just pitiful. You see, the bar was set by Elvis people until we went into the James V. Allred maximum security prison and performed in there.
They were a captive audience.
Sit down.
Let me give you a visual of what it looks like when MARK209 went into prison.
We were in the prison and we were doing worship.
He looks at home, doesn't he?
All right, so anyways, we'll sell him for some soups, I'm just saying. But
There's songs you just don't want to sing in a prison.
they're not going to prison, they don't need
Time
to
has made a change in me. It's just not the nicest thing in the world.
So we were,
He set me free. That's another good one they don't want to sing.
And the guards do not want to hear everybody singing "My Chains Are Gone." Okay, that's just not cool.
All right.
How about "I'll Fly Away"?
stop, you're new, sit down.
And of course, the last song every prisoner sings is "I Surrender All."
That's right.
Sit down. So we went into the prison and we were having worship with those guys and they were blowing us away because they're so on fire for God. And everything we did, man, they're clapping, they're singing along with us, they're giving God so much praise. And then we got to the song Graceland and we challenged them to scream for God, make noise for God. And they began to scream so loud we could feel the concrete like this vibrating underneath our feet. It was incredible how loud they were screaming. And so I thought, this is great. That was the bar that was set. And that's what we always tell people. If those inmates can scream for God, you have no excuse not to give God praise here this afternoon. We have a beautiful day. The sun has been out. The birds are chirping. You woke up this morning. You have something to be thankful for. You have a reason to give God praise. And so we do it in churches and fairs and everywhere. We usually get people, woo, they kind of have fun. But then I saw something a while back that kind of made me look at it a little different. You see, we went down to Americus, Georgia. Wait, how do they say it down there? They go say,
Americus.
Americas.
That's what they said. We were down in Americus, Georgia, and I found out something. We had a night off, and they asked us to come perform. They said, you know, you've done youth events and everything else this week, but would you come sing? There's a nursing, it's kind of like a retirement center, a whole village. It's like 60 some odd acres. And what?
Yeah, right.
Well, it was, we sang at the nursing home, but it's because that's where the big room is, but it's a big village of people. They've got houses and condos and shopping centers, everything all over the property. And they said, you got the night off, would you come sing? We said, absolutely, we're not doing anything else. We went and had a great time with the people. And so we're having fun, we're singing hymns and Elvis, and man, they're just clapping and enjoying themselves. And then I looked at Jim and I said, let's do Graceland. And he goes, you want to make the old people scream? And I said, yeah. He goes, okay. So he turned around and I said, we're going to do the song, and I want you just to yell, give God all the praise you can. And we did it, and that room lit up, buddy. Whoa! They're yelling, screaming. It was so loud that, kid you not, nurses' aides started running down the hallway because they thought there was a problem.
That must mean you're done.
In the bus, in my backpack. Jim broke something, folks. He's got to go get something. Well, he's doing it, I'll tell you anyways. But we were there, and so we're singing it, we're having fun, people are screaming. And then I looked up in the very back of the audience, and I saw something that got me tickled, and I got to laughing so hard I couldn't sing. Because you see, right before we started, they wheeled this lady in, and she had the Cadillac of the wheelchairs, had full padding everywhere, big armrest, and they wheeled her in, and she was, you could tell, she was very important. People just loved her to death, and she stood up, she took 2 steps, and she sat down. And they told me afterwards, they said she's in her like mid-90s, and she's just a sweet old lady. We just love her to death. And so she's back there the whole time just enjoying herself. She's smiling, but she wasn't really talking to anybody, and the whole time she's on oxygen. And so she's just standing back there, which is kind of unnerving to us after about 30 minutes of her just doing that. It's a little weird. And so we got to Graceland, and I thought, well, we're having fun, and I just happened to look up right as I said I'm living in Graceland. And when I did it, she went, woo! And I started laughing because I thought, first off, what's in the oxygen tank, okay? Because she was screaming really loud. And second off, it just caught me so tickled because she had done nothing the whole time. Then out of nowhere, woo! She just took off. And so now I'm laughing, and the lady in charge is trying to figure out what's got me so tickled. And I'm doing everything I can to politely go, look at the old lady in the back, but I can't say that. So I'm doing everything I can to motion back. About that time she looks up, and when she saw it, she got so tickled that now she starts videotaping because she's trying to get her on film, but do it, politely. And so she's like, scan the audience and pause. And pause. Woo! Yeah, there we go. Back and forth. And here's what I began to notice. If she can stand up and scream for God and make that much noise, what's our excuse to not be able to do it here? We ought to be able to give God that much praise here. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do the song Graceland, and I want you to get involved. What? No, watch. No, we're not. See, I come prepared. Here, hold. Tell them how to scream.
Woo! Woo!
First you hoot, then you holler.
Woo! Ha!
There you go.
All right, does everyone know how to scream already? That should not be it.
No,
All right,
If you have children,
You don't know,
you
okay.
how to scream.
I'm not a girl.
children, do you know how to scream? Huh? Yeah, you know how to scream.
Yes, you do.
You can
So,
scream at
Graceland,
Woo!
loud as you possibly can. Let's give it a first try, then we'll go from there. 1, 2, 3, Graceland! Pretty much got it
That
down
was
already.
weak. That was pitiful.
That was not worth a darn. I know.
Wow.
Listen, I was trying to be nice, but I hate it when things go wrong when we're on stage.